Hello and welcome to Quilt Addicts Anonymous. I'm Stephanie Sebbing. Today we have another fun bit of new fabrics to show you guys that I think you're going to be very excited about. We've got a mix of prints that'll be great for kids or the young at heart, and then also a new basics line from FIGO that I think you're going to love. It's going to work great for gifts, or if you're into the fabric gift wrap, this is your chance. You can get a jump start on next year's holiday season so you can actually have it done and enjoy it on the holidays instead of stressing and working to the last minute. Let's get started by taking a look at some of our fun kids prints that we have. So we have this adorable mermaid line from Dear Stella. It is absolutely adorable. We put together a bunch of kits for our beginner quilting class. You're going to make a split 9 patch from this, and it is definitely something that you can work with those beginner sewers. So maybe this is something that you can work with your daughter or your granddaughter on. You are going to want to handle the cutting depending on their age, but all the sewing they absolutely can do. My daughter is 7 and she just finished and quilted on the long arm her first quilt. So you guys can get started with them young and develop that love of sewing. So let's take a look at what we have here. So this is our background. It's this nice floral with a nice pretty petal on there, and it really brings out all the colors in here and makes it look like a little sea flower. Then we have this lovely teal that goes with it and helps again bring out all those fun colors. And we have inclusive mermaids. They come in all shades and colors, and so no matter what your little sewer is, you're going to find someone that they're going to look up to, as opposed to a little red-headed mermaid, which was my mermaid that I looked up to when I was young. Then we have this cute whale print, and it's a little baby humpback whale with the corals. And again, all those colors really coordinate very well. And then we have the mermaids again. This time they're a little bit larger scale, and they're just so cute. They're so fun. And again, mermaids of all shapes and colors here, so that's really great. Then we're going to end that with some jellyfish, and it is so cute. So when you make the split 9 patch, we're recommending that you put this little teal one as your center so that it ends up being that small little square. And then you can alternate where the direction of your lighter blues and your darker blues are. So it's going to give good movement throughout the quilt. And then this fabric, even though there's kind of a lot going on in it, contrasts enough with everything that is happening in these fabrics to make it the perfect background, especially if you're going to do it for a little girl, because let's face it, stains happen and they're not going to be as noticeable on a print that has a lot going on it than they will for like plain white. So when we send you the kit, first of all, you can get it at a discount if you download our pattern to go with that, the split 9 patch. It's free to download, and then it gets you a discount on anything that you need for our beginner quilting. There's a whole category of things that you can save on for that. And then you can get going. You can get your kit. You can watch our video series. It's a 12-part video tutorial series that teaches you everything you need to know. So like say, you know, you're working with your granddaughter and maybe they're working a little bit on their own and they can't remember something. Well, they can pop on and they can watch a video and maybe they can pick it up from that if it's going to be a little bit before they're going to be with you again. So it's really fun, really great, or you can always gift it as well. But I think that this is just a really fun quilt, and especially for those young sewers to get them interested in loving sewing as much as we do. This collection is also from Dear Stella. It's very sweet. It's called Untamed. So again, a great one that those young ones or the young at hearts will like. We're going to start off with some horses out to pasture. They're really pretty. And then there's this beautiful star, which is going to bring out all of those lovely little orange and yellow. And then we have a nice little meadow scene. This looks like a lot like the background of this, but as a main print. And then we have a lighter horse where the horses are much smaller. They're just kind of out there hanging out. And then we have a lovely little sky. Now, the Dear Stella lines are much smaller than some of the lines at other fabric companies. So this is it. This is all that was in this line. This is really fun if you just want to do something fast and easy that doesn't take a lot of fabrics, that isn't very complicated. What we did was we put together some half-yard bundles. That way you'll have the equivalent of 10 fat quarters, which is usually enough to make like a baby quilt or a small lap. If you would like more than that, there's yardage available as well. But this is a good start. You know, if you get that, then you've got a good start to make something small and fun. And then you can always add on fabrics if you have something bigger in mind. But Really cute. It's called Untamed from Dear Stella. All right, last but not least, we have Bijou by Ghazal Razivi of FIGO Fabrics. Ghazal is actually on staff at FIGO Fabrics, but she's also a very talented designer beyond her role in the marketing department. So this collection was meant to be designed as a basic. So a basic or blender, whatever you want to call it, is essentially supposed to be kind of a supporting player. You have your main fabrics that are the focus that you want to highlight, and then there's prints like this that have maybe 2, 3, 4 colors in it, but it has a very subtle pattern and design, enough to give you texture, so it's not a solid, but it's not going to overwhelm and take away from the focus of your main prints. So this is a great thing to just have in your stash, because there is going to be something that this will go with often. And a lot of times, like when we do our Stash with Stephanie subscription club, say there's like 12 or 13 fabrics in a line, we will pick from one of these basics to add in, so that way we have our 15 pieces, but it looks like it's part of the line. And it is really beautiful, and it just helps fill in where you need it and get you to, like, say you need 15 fabrics for something and you only have 12 in that line. It's exactly what you want to have these in your stash for, so you can find the perfect one to help fill it out and make that quilt. But this line is a little bit more special than that, because there is a trend, and we did a replay of this where our video editor Courtney, back at the time we filmed it, she was our quilting instructor when we had an in-person store, on doing fabric gift wrap. And it has become more trendy over the last couple of years as people try to be more sustainable. And it is February. If you start on this now, there is a very good chance that you might actually have them done in time to gift at the holiday season. And this entire line would absolutely work for the holidays. Maybe not the orange, but this pink you can make work, and you could just have such a colorful, lovely fabric Christmas tree. So let's take a peek at the fabrics, and then you guys can decide if maybe you want to give it a go, either for some fabric gift wrap, and we can link to that video tutorial as well, or just to have as your blender stash. So this is really an example of a classic blender. You don't have too many colors. The design is very subtle. It's going to support what you're doing in your other prints, but it's not going to detract from it. And again, if you're going to go the fabric gift wrap route, this is fabulous. So we're going to see quite a few of these striped designs. They're really pretty. We had that metallic gold in there. So again, great basic, great blender, but also consider it for gift wrap. This one to me just screams Christmas gift wrap. It's a very rich red with some burgundy in there with that gold metallic star. You can't get any better than this. This one is much more on the magenta side of things. We've got a nice pink, really rich pink background that's kind of modeled. And then, of course, we still have the gold metallic. There's going to be gold metallic throughout this entire collection. Now, this is a specific print I was thinking of when I picked my shirt today. It's one of my favorites. I love this really rich purple stripe with the metallic gold. Here we have that circle print again. This one has more of a dusty lilac feel to it with a little bit deeper purple there, but still very light, and of course, metallic gold. Also a favorite. Y'all know I love some teal. This is a good one. I feel like this also would work really well for holiday gift wrap. Maybe also if you're celebrating Hanukkah. I think it's silver instead of gold, but still the blue is very pretty and it's very festive. More of a darker blue this time, more navy, and that is black. It's not a very dark blue. It is definitely a black stripe running through there. Really makes those stars pop. We're back to those fabrics that would make a really great fabric gift wrap. This green is definitely screaming for it, and that gold metallic looks so great with that as the background. This one is really pretty too. It's got that nice, it's kind of a cross between green and a teal, but it is very, very pretty. And the background is, the stripe is black. This one, the X's still are just that gold metallic, but it almost makes the silver X's look like that is also metallic when you're looking at it up close. It's just really, really fun. This is that mottled look again. So we have a mottled black and gray, and then we still have the circles with the gold metallic. It really, I'm usually not a fan of gold and silver together, but it really works well in this instance. More of those X's, again with that little hint of gold metallic, which also still makes the rest of it pop just all the more being right next to it. All right, now this one I think is your best candidate for a background. It looks really cool. It's really fun. If you have any thought of potentially using this somewhere, go buy yourself 3.5, 4 yards to use for a nice lap quilt. More if you like bigger quilts. But this is a really good potential background. And I think that's the hardest part. Like, we always are buying the fat quarters, always. But we don't always think, oh, I'm going to need a background for that someday. But this is a really good option for you. So grab some yardage of this one. You're going to want it. Same with the blacks. Like a good black binding to end that quilt with, that nothing better. So that's something too I would buy in yardages of, just so that I've got it on hand. Same with any kind of stripe, because you can always do that on the diagonal for bias and just make it just sing. It's just a lovely way to end a quilt. So I really like this new line. I think it's really gorgeous. I think it's definitely a good one to add to your stash to get some of that basics filled up, so you can make all of your big prints just pop that you order. And it's just so pretty. It's so gorgeous. I'm going to have to keep my daughter away from this one, and she's going to ask for some. And it's just so fun. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me today and taking a peek at some of the new arrivals we have this week. If you've been following along with our free motion quilting series, we're going to be taking a week off next week because it's a Stash with Stephanie week, which means probably behind the scenes somewhere I'm frantically trying to finish a quilt. Now, thank goodness I pre-filmed this one. But definitely stay tuned for that. We're going to have a lot of fun videos, a new pattern for you. And if you are doing the free motion quilting tutorial series, take the week, catch up if you can, just relax, enjoy yourself. Maybe have a glass of wine before you stitch. It'll help you relax, so that way you feel less anxious about getting it perfect. And it just has some fun stitching this week. And we will be back with more of those videos in a week. But in the meantime, watch out for Stash with Stephanie. We've got a really pretty one. Also from FIGO, and also where we grab some basics to help fill out the line in order to make that work. So I'm really excited, and we will see you in the next one. Happy quilting!